All right, we'll get started now with head coach Phil Neville.
Evening, guys. We're disappointed. I think the first half was the poorest we've played all season. I thought we were timid, soft a little bit. In possession, I thought we were terrible. Not to the standard that we wanted. Second half, I thought we got better. The goal just after half time was a sucker blow because the only positive in the first half that it wasn't 1-0. I thought they didn't create that much, but they had all the play. We didn't keep the ball. We gave the ball away consistently. We didn't have any composure on the ball, and we lost a lot of duels in the central areas. So we're disappointed. The boys are disappointed. It's been a while since we've suffered a defeat, and I think the nature of the game is that we kept going. We kept fighting to the end. The goal at the end was showed the character in the team, but I thought we didn't deserve anything from the game. Ian Frey coming back was a massive positive for us. I thought he played outstanding when he came on. And it's now all about recovery for Saturday's big game, and we need to bounce back. We need to bounce back against Orlando. It's a big game. It's a great game to bounce back in, and the team will be ready for it.
We'll be getting questions now. Please raise your hand on the Zoom option. And we'll start with Michelle Kaufman, then Franco Panizo, then Jose.
All right. Phil, can you just talk about your strategy? At the beginning, it looked like, you guys were playing more defensive stance at the start, and then obviously opened the gates more in the second half. What was your thinking going into this game?
Well, we wanted to continue in terms of sort of like our mentality of the last 5 games, and I think the disappointment is that we dropped too deep. We were too passive. We didn't get to the ball. We allowed them to get control of the game, and that wasn't really part of the game plan. We wanted to be really solid and aggressive in that mid block shape. So I thought we were better than that. I thought we were better in the second half at that. We flipped the shape a little bit. We went to 2 centre forwards. We're in a run of games. We're in a run of games now where we have to slightly, we have to rotate 1 or 2 players to keep everything nice. But I just felt first half we were soft all over the pitch. We didn't compete and win our duels, and it just felt as if they just had total control, and we didn't really lay a glove on them, and that was the disappointment really from my point of view. We didn't lay a glove on them, and we weren't surprised by the way that they played. We expected them to play like that, but I was disappointed with the way that we lacked any kind of intensity in our defending, which we've had so good in the last 5 games.
Franco and then Jose.
Thank you, Rafa. Hey, Phil. Just building off of that, obviously you just touched on it. You were trying to go with a similar approach to the last few games. 5 at the back. You had the 2 6s in Ulloa and Dixon. Like you just touched on, you guys didn't lay a punch on them in that first half finish with no shots at all, not even on target. What was the game plan for the attacking aspect? How were you guys planning to inflict damage when you did have the ball on them, given the lineup and the personnel? Thank you.
Well, we had 4 players in central midfield with Taylor and Kramashi. We wanted to outnumber them in central midfield, but we never got any control in central midfield. And that the games that we've played, we've had control from our 3 centre backs, but we knew in this game we had to get control in the middle of the field. That's why we put an extra player in there. And when you play against sort of like a diamond shape, you're thinking about switches of play. But because we never got control, we never got our wing backs high enough to get control of the game, or to get them on the ball in higher areas. It felt like we were only playing in our own build and create phase, and that was a disappointment because we never got control in central midfield. We could never get our fullbacks or our wing backs higher, which meant that we never controlled the game or stretched them in midfield, and that was the disappointment. I take no. I did think it was our worst performance of the season in the first half in terms of sort of like the way that we wanted to play, but we did play better second half, but first half wasn't good enough.
Jose?
Thank you, Rafa. Phil, I wanted to ask you a little bit about Coco and Nico. At the start of the season, they were starters for you. They played a bigger role lately. We have seen them both coming off the bench. What's the role for them? Can you give us an update on what you have seen from them that makes you, change your mind from what we saw early on in the season?
Well, Coco, Nico's played in every game. Nico started in every game. So I think what we've seen in the last 5-6 days is that he's just dipped in terms of his energy level. So the last 2 games he's not got on the pitch. But I think like I say, I keep saying it, but I think we've got 7 games in 24 days. He's going to be back in the team. So is Coco. With us going with the 2 strikers, it means that there's probably, the wide players that have not been used. Coco had a slight knock for the Miami game. And the game after that, I forget which the game after that was. Maybe Columbus, was it? Columbus, I think it was. So, he came off at halftime with a knock in the Columbus game. So there's nothing in it. It's just that this time we're rotating in that position. We shoved DeAndre up there. Harvey played there today, and Nico just needs this bit of a breather, and when he gets back in, he'll be better for it. And like I say, there's games every 2 or 3 days. Everyone's going to be ready. Everyone's got to be ready, and more importantly, people have got to perform. I think that's the thing is that the players that you mentioned have got to perform, and the players that have gone in the team, Kramashis of the world, have performed. David Ruiz has performed, which meant that we've had really good selection problems.
And we go last question, Franco.
Thanks again, Rafa. Phil, if I could ask you 2 quick ones, just one on the goal. I know it's just a consolation there at the end, but you saw on that goal from Dixon, a pretty goal. And then the other big positive, and I know you touched on this in your opening remarks, was Ian getting back out there after 2 years of suffering injuries, back-to-back injuries. What did you see from him out there? And I know you've talked a lot about the young players, but how do you see him factoring in during this, not only this stretch of games, but throughout the course of the season as he works his way back? Thank you.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was a goal from a corner. I think we're doing some really good work from attacking corners. We look a real threat. The boys kept going right to the end. There was a couple of other chances. I think Joseph and Leo had a couple of chances as well. So we kept going, but I never thought we deserved anything in the game. So that's pretty fair. In terms of Ian is like the other lads, other young players in the team. It's great to have him back. He's not quite there yet. He was absolutely gassed at the end of the game. We're going to have to be patient with him. But we're asking these kids to do men's jobs, and they're doing it really, really well. And we're super proud. We're super proud to have these young players. Ian is the next in line that's getting his opportunity, and we will need him over the next months. You think about Kamal going to the Gold Cup maybe with Canada. There's going to be opportunities. Sergi's out. So there's going to be opportunities for him to play at this moment in time. I think 20-30 minutes. He's not played a 90-minute game in 2 years. So we're not going to ask him to play incredibly silly minutes. But I think putting him on today was a good step for him. There's MLS 2 games next week that we want him to get major minutes in. And I think we've just got to be patient with him. But the boy's a talent.
Thank you, Coach.